everyone to connect and bridge the gap between the deaf and hearing communities.
This is new to our list of events this year. Deaf Latinos y Familias has hosted this once in the past. Deaf Awareness Month happens also in September, and so we felt that it was only appropriate that in the City of Angels, with Latinos everywhere, to really commemorate both the groups and play with the intersectionality that happens here. And clearly, it's worked out. So we're happy with the turnout that we have today.
We all want to be able to go somewhere and be able to communicate with someone. And bringing everyone out here today to bring that awareness and to show them that, hey, you know what? I want to learn sign language just to say hi to someone down the street. That's what we're here for. Bring awareness to our deaf Latino communities. We have deaf vendors that are here.
So I'm here really to show you that I am deaf and that all members in the deaf community can. Whatever it is, they can do it. We can all help each other, support each other, and really we can do anything a hearing person can do.
Oh yeah, I think it is beneficial, so beneficial. Not only the impact that it has on the deaf community, but on the hearing community as well, and that connection that's built between the two.
What was formerly Bailey Street will now be known as Vicente Fernandez Street. Councilmember Kevin De Leon spoke about the significance of renaming a street that honors the king of ranchera, his legacy, and how it represents the LA Hispanic community at large. Check it out.
Gracias.
Today we're celebrating the renaming of Bailey Street to Vicente Fernandez. And a lot of folks don't know who Vicente Fernandez is. And when I say to folks, is think Frank Sinatra. And when you know who Frank Sinatra is, you know what he meant to so many Americans. That's what Vicente Fernandez, meant to so many Mexicans, so many Central Americans, so many Latinos from all over the Americas, but especially here in LA.
Vicente Fernandez music is sung at weddings, at birthdays, at quinceañeras. It's sung at the milestones of people's lives.
It's a great privilege seeing the heart welcoming from Boyle Heights. As long as y'all don't stop clapping, Suchete is not going to stop singing. His crowd was everything to him.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Vicente Fernandez Street.
Si pudiera estrecharte sería tan dichoso.
Vicente les dio todo su amor, ustedes también se lo regalaron.
With over 53% of the police workforce identifying as Hispanic, the LAPD headquarters held an event to observe Hispanic Heritage Month. To highlight the importance of diversity and representation, many LAPD officers gathered to enjoy live music and food while remembering the contributions and progress achieved by Hispanic officers in the past.
I am honored to be here today in collaboration with our department and our city family to formally celebrate the commencement of Hispanic Heritage Month.
We are all here to celebrate an incredible month in which we celebrate the heritage of this Latino city, this Hispanic city. I often say, obviously, the original inhabitants here, whose first village was just across the street, kind of where City Hall is today, the Tongva, then were joined by Spanish subjects who were white and black and brown and every shade in between, but they all spoke Spanish.
Hispanic personnel make up over 53% of our sworn workforce. Our demographics certainly reflect the diverse communities that we protect and serve. This would not have been possible without those before us that laid the framework, notably people like Officer Josephine Serrano, who became the first Mexican policewoman in 1946.
Hermoso cariño, ya estoy como un niño con nuevo juguete contento.
This month, as people have said, spans September 15th through October 15th, spans Hispanic Heritage Month, and we are very proud to be part of that and to have this celebration here. The city and the department host a variety of heritage events throughout the year, and with each, including this one, we are given a chance to uplift the community, to remember the challenges that it faced, to recognize the challenges that it still faced, and most importantly, to move forward towards a community that everyone has a seat at the table.
This week, in our ongoing series celebrating the 60th anniversary of the LA Cultural Heritage Commission, we visit Morgan House. Designed by Julia Morgan, the first woman architect in California, it was home to the Young Women Christian Association. This house is significant for its architectural style as well as the architect who designed it. Let's hear the story.
We are at the YWCA in San Pedro, California. YWCA is the oldest women's organization in the country. This particular YWCA has been in the Morgan House since its inception, pretty much, since 1858. And it's important because it was designed by the first woman architect, Julia Morgan, back in 1917. And it was designed really for women who were coming here after the war to the port area to work in the canneries and somewhere safe for them to live and be part of the community.
This is significant because of the architectural style, which is craftsman style. It's a board and batten building. And it's significant as well for the architect who designed it. Her name was Julia Morgan. She was one of the first students at the University of California in Berkeley. And she was very, very talented. And evidently, Ms. Morgan was a good enough architect that she was commissioned to design many YWCAs.
Over 100 years, this agency has grown to help the neighborhood and the community with the needs that are needed on the day. It wasn't just a generation ago where women needed permission to have their own credit cards, their maternity leave, and things that we take for granted today. We have advocated for those things since 1858. So when we continue to do so, we help and empower women and their families. So we help with access to things that the people need in our neighborhood, and it's always hard to explain or advocate for ourselves what we do. We're not hornblowers or tell people what we're doing every day, but we are helping our community with childcare, mammograms, food distribution, computer classes, and all the things that they need to be sustainable.
There are many landmarks that relate to cultural history, and there are a few that relate to women's history, and that's why this is so significant. We encourage the community to come forward with nominations for historic cultural monuments. The Cultural Heritage Commission cannot go out and make nominations for potential landmarks. It is the community. It is people who live in neighborhoods who are aware of what they have, who we encourage to nominate properties.
Importantly, what happens in the Morgan House in Little San Pedro is extremely significant because this neighborhood has relied on the resources of this building, and it might look very unobtrusive from the front and don't really know what it is, but when people have nowhere else to go, we're their last resort, and we're very proud to continue to do that.
Enjoy a marionette show on the lawn of Hollyhock House. Attend a free masterclass and performance with Big Chief Shaka Zulu, or celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day at Grand Park. All this up next on Things to Do.
The historic Frank Lloyd Wright's Hollyhock House was recently reopened, and lots of fun and engaging family activities are taking place there, like the Bob Baker Marionette Theater. The Saturday morning with marionettes on the lawn show will delight kids and adults alike. But the fun doesn't end with the performance, because there will be a family craft activity taking place simultaneously. This family-friendly performance has a free ticketless entry for everyone and will take place on the West Lawn in Barnsdall Art Park on Saturday, October 8th at 10 a.m. For more information, visit hollyhockhouse.org. Are you curious to learn about a cultural tradition that is an integral part of American history? The William Grant Still Art Center is presenting a masterclass with the 2022 National Heritage Fellow recipient, Big Chief Shaka Zulu, followed by a live Nouveau Afro performance. Participants of the masterclass will learn about the costuming tradition of the Yellow Pocahontas tribe, as well as the live cultural and musical practice of free Black people in the USA. The performance that follows will feature the Afro Fusion Project with Big Chief Shaka Zulu and Marcus L. Miller. Both the Big Chief Shaka Zulu Masterclass and Live Nouveau Afro performance are free and open to all people. They will take place at the William Grant Still Art Center on Saturday, October 8th, with the masterclass happening at 2 p.m. and the live performance at 7 p.m. For more information and to register, visit culturela.org/events. Every October since 2018, the city of Los Angeles has officially celebrated Indigenous Peoples Day, which happens on the first Monday of this month. It was in August of 2017 when, alongside hundreds of local Native American leaders and community members in attendance, the City Council approved an initiative to officially create Indigenous Peoples Day. This year, Council District 13, which spearheaded this initiative, will be holding an event for everyone to come together and honor an important part of our community and history at Grand Park next to LA City Hall on Monday, October 10th at 4 p.m. For more details about the activities and events taking place to celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day, visit cd13.lacity.org. And that's a look at some things to do.
And that's it for this edition. I'm Natalia Bilbao, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org, and we're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.
Ever notice how we no longer focus our attention on one thing at a time? We don't just walk or even just drive. We focus on so many different objects we don't notice the dangers ahead of us. We're a distracted society. We're blind to the importance of being safe, to the things that really matter. Blind to the things that could actually save our life. We're blind to everything surrounding us. Be aware, move with care, watch the road.
please take your seats so we can begin our meeting? Good morning and welcome to the meeting of the Los Angeles City Council. Today is October 4th. I'm Nuri Martinez, the President of the City Council. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Madam President. Blumenfield. Bonin. Absent. Buscaino. Cedillo. De Leon. Harris Dawson. Absent. Hutt. Koretz. Absent. Krikorian. Lee. Martinez.
Present.
O'Farrell. Price. Rahman. Rodriguez. Absent. 11 members in a quorum, Madam President.
First order of business.
Approval of the minutes of September 30th, 2022.
Mr. Blumenfield moves and Mr. De Leon seconds. Next.
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
Mr. Krikorian moves and Mr. Lee seconds.
Madam President, today is Tuesday and it is time for the flag salute.
Councilwoman Hunt, can you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Please stand. Put your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Clerk, let's go ahead and run through the agenda.
Yes, Madam President. There is a request to continue item 1 to October 11th, 2022.
Okay, without objection.
Items 2 through 14 are items for which public hearings have been held. Items 15 through 24 are items for which public hearings have not been held. A community impact statement for item 19 has been submitted by the Reseda Neighborhood Council against the matter. 10 votes are required for consideration.
Okay, without objection, those items are now before us. Members, you wish to call any of these items special? Mr. Rahman, I'm sorry, Ms. Rahman? You please press your button so that I can see you on the board, Ms. Rahman.
I'd like to call item 13 special for comments.
That's
and
already being held on the desk. Any others?
And I have 2 amendments to offer on it, which I believe are already available with the city attorney.
Are you reading them into the record or are they being circulated?
Oh, are they being circulated?
Who are you asking?
Circulated.
All right, thank you.
They're being circulated, thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Blumenfield?
Amendment on 13, which I'm not sure if it's circulated, so I'll just read it, which is I move that the matter of the Housing Ad Hoc on COVID-19 Recovery and Neighborhood Investment Committee's report relative to the city's eviction moratorium during the COVID-19 pandemic, emergency rental assistance, tenant protections, and related items, number 13, be amended to instruct the LA Housing Department with the assistance of the city attorney to report to council on the following issues to inform the council's decision on the just cause ordinance. A, the length of tenancy that will be required before just cause protections apply and implications for leases that are intended to be medium length, including summer sublets of student occupied housing, leases where housing occupant is out of town for temporary work assignment, other arrangements where both parties agree to a temporary nature of the lease. And B, whether to create an exemption to just cause provisions for owner-occupied 2 or 3 unit properties, given the city's housing policies and state law now promote the construction of accessory dwelling units and duplexes on what were single-family properties.
You have a second? Second by Mr. Lee. Mr. De Leon?
Good morning, Madam President. Thank you very much. Madam President, I'd like to make a small amendment to item 13, recommendation 2E, in the ad hoc COVID committee report instructing the LA Housing Department to include this data on evictions using the Phase 3 Renters Relief Registry dashboard and to report quarterly to council regarding eviction data and any interventions which averted pending evictions if known.
Is there a second? Do you have a second on that? Second. Second by who?
Mr. Cedillo.
Mr. Cedillo, thank you. Do you have any other?
Yeah, also, Madam President, when File item number 13 comes up for a vote, and I request a separate vote on recommendation 1 in the ad hoc committee report.
Okay, when we come to this item, we're gonna have to take a motion and vote on that so we can divide it. Thank you. Mr. Price?
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to recuse myself from item 13. City Attorney has advised that I should do so because I own property and have tenants in the city.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Cedillo?
Did you call me, madam?
Yeah, you're on the board, huh?
Yes. I have a technical amendment waiting for it to come down, technical amendment that simply clarifies the phrase government action.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that. Did you want Mr. City Attorney to go ahead and read the amending motion, or?
No, I'm waiting for it to come down.
Oh, you're waiting for it to come down. So we need to do it as soon as possible, just to make sure
I'm
that
waiting,
we have
Madam President.
enough time for sufficient public comment.
I understand.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Rahman, you're back on the board?
My amendments are being circulated, but I did just want to share for the purposes of everybody who's here today that the two amendments, which are separate amendments, are one that aligns the noticing requirements for tenants with the county's noticing requirements, and the second is to move the expiration date of the eviction moratorium from January 31st to February 28th. Thank you.
Mr. Krikorian?
President, just for the state of the record, I also will be recusing myself on item 13 as I do own rental property in the city.
Thank you. Any other specials, members? You see no other specials. Mr. Clerk, which are the available items for us to vote on?
Madam President, there are cards on item 13. The council may now vote on items 2 through 12 and 14.
Okay, let's go ahead and take up those items now. Items 2 through 12 and item 14. Go ahead and open the roll. Close the roll and tabulate the vote.
13 ayes. Madam President, there's a request to send item 14 forthwith.
Without objection, that would be the order. And Mr. Clerk, I'd like to go ahead and move that on item 13, that we adopt the ad hoc COVID committee report and recommendations. Can I get a second? Seconded by Mr. O'Farrell. Ms. Rodriguez? Anyone else? And Mr. Cedillo, thank you.
Just for the record, so the ad hoc COVID report is recommendation set B, like boy.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move into public comment. If I call your name, please come on up, and I will indicate what are the items you signed up to speak on. The first speaker is initial A, Solorsen. Initial A and Solorsen, seems to be the last name. Is that person here? Solorsen. I don't see anyone with that name, so I'm going to move on to the next speaker. The next speaker is Adela Cortez. Adela.
Good morning.
¿Usted cómo se llama?
Soy Solórzano.
Por favor, acérquese al micrófono porque no lo escucho. ¿Cómo se llama?
Mi nombre es Dominga Solórzano.
¿Fue la persona que le hablé hace ratito?
Sí.
Ok, un momentito.
Disculpa.
Un momentito. Ok, usted va a hablar en el asunto número 13 y en comentarios general.
Sí.
Necesita traductora, ¿verdad?
Sí, por favor.
Nomás acérquese un poquito para que la podamos escuchar.
Sí.
Y un poco despacio para que la traductora le pueda traducir. Por favor, comienza.
Sí, gracias. Hola, mi nombre es Dominga Solórzano. Soy inquilina
Señora, un poquito más cerquitas.
Sí.
Baje el micrófono.
Soy miembro de ACE y vivo en el distrito 9.
Okay, un momentito.
Hello, my name is Dominga Solórzana, and I'm here with ACE, and I live in District Number 9.
He estado viviendo aquí por más de 8 años. Como inquilino, quiero instar a la ciudad a que no eliminen protecciones de emergencias.
I've been living here for 8 years, and I want to ask the city to please not eliminate the emergency COVID restrictions.
Adopten protecciones permanentes. Las protecciones existentes para inquilinos son los únicos que ha evitado que muchos de nosotros nos quedemos sin hogar.
I want to ask you guys to please adopt some protections, because the protections that we've had thus far have been the ones that have protected us from not having to have to leave our homes.
La pandemia ha afectado significativamente mi situación de vida y vivienda. Sorry. Thank you.
The pandemic has really impacted my life and the way of life.
Gracias. The next speaker is Adela Cortez. Adela? Adela, ¿necesita traductora?
Sí. Ella me va a...
No, aquí tenemos una traductora. Okay. Tenemos que ser la persona que está en el micrófono para que pueda traducir si la gente está viendo por televisión. Entonces, usted va a hablar en el tema número 13 y en comentarios general. Por favor, hable despacio para que la traductora le pueda traducir. Por favor, comience.
Soy Adela Cortés. Tengo 34 años viviendo en el Gil Cedilla.
My name is Adela Cortez, and I've been living here for 34 years.
El dueño del edificio nos aumentó la renta 3%.
The owner of the building has increased our rent by 3%.
El de la pandemia.
Since the pandemic.
Sí, legal. Ajá. Necesitamos que aprueben protecciones contra alojos de permanente. No sé, por unos meses. Y su ANSU que haga su trabajo.
Un momentito.
We need you guys to keep the protection from the pandemic for evictions.
ANSU que haga su trabajo, que apoye a los dueños que son ricos, nosotros somos pobres.
And for Anzu to do his job and to please stop supporting the owners, because you need to support us because we're the poor people.
Y le quiero preguntar a Cedillo, cuando nosotros fuimos, nos hizo una junta y dijo que Cedillo que ella no sabía nada porque Cedillo no reportaba nada lo que estaba haciendo Cedillo. Y queremos preguntarle que por qué no le dijo a esa mujer que nos ayudara.
We want to ask Cedillo, like he told us in the meeting that we went to, that the lady was not getting any reports, and we want to ask him why he didn't say what we were saying to the woman.
Es importante para proteger los inquilinos de Los Ángeles.
It's important to protect the tenants of Los Angeles.
Yeah. Thank you.
Gracias. The next speaker is Adriana Medina. Adriana Medina? Is Adriana Medina here? Forgot to mention earlier, I'm going to go ahead and go for 45 minutes, see how many speakers we can go through, and then we'll assess, but for now it's 45 minutes, and I started about 10 minutes ago. So, ¿usted necesita traducción?
No.
You signed up for item 13 and general public comment. Please begin.
Good morning. My name is Adriana Medina. I live in District 3. I'm a homeowner, but I'm here supporting the renters because renters need more protection. One more thing, during the pandemic, it was a law that protects tenants that have pets. All the shelters were empty. Everybody was happy. It was everywhere in the news that the shelters were empty because people was allowed to have pets. But that protection is gonna end. What is gonna happen with these animals? They're gonna go back to the shelters. Who is gonna take care of them? The city is not gonna have enough money to pay for the food and their care. That's why we need more protection for the animals. Animals are, some of them are animals that support people for the sad. During the pandemic, I lost my husband from COVID. And my dog was my companion, the one that gave me home. We don't need more homeless people, and we don't need more homeless animals. Thank you.
The next speaker is Fred Sutton. Fred Sutton. Fred, you signed up to speak on item 13 and general public comment.
Correct. It's only 1 minute.
You have 1 minute for each.
Okay.
So you can start with your item now.
Fred Sutton with the California Apartment Association. Our members help house Los Angeles. The economy has long been fully reopened. Vaccines are widely available. The state closed its emergency rental assistance. Billions of dollars have been dispersed. And the President of the United States has said the pandemic is over. The conditions of 2020 are completely different than today. Despite all this progress, the city of LA stands alone, continuing measures that long ago should have ended. It does not matter if you operate 1 unit or 200 units. It is wrong to continue to be forced to provide the service of housing without compensation. Rental housing providers are not in the eviction business, but eviction is unfortunately a necessary and often singular tool for resolving the most disruptive situations or when someone is not being compensated.
Hold on, Speaker. Members of the public,
We're
hold on for just a second. No one, can you please be respectful of everyone's gonna have a difference of opinion here. We're trying to get through this meeting so we can start debate and we can take a vote on this really important matter. The more interruptions, the longer it's gonna take. Thank you. Go ahead.
End the rent freeze today. The city allowed trash franchise fees to increase and approved doubling of housing fees. Yet people who were never impacted financially nor health-wise were prohibited from receiving needed economic adjustments to maintain the city's housing stock. That was wrong 2 years ago, and it is wrong today. It is inappropriate to use the pandemic crisis to rush through permanent regulations. The emergency measures should be discussed on their own, while unrelated regulations deserve the proper setting for vetting and discussion. Interest groups will try to justify the continuance of these measures and rushed expansion. Goalposts will be moved, and other major issues the city is facing will be pointed to as cause. But no matter how you cut it, the reasoning for these emergency measures are no longer in existence. This is not about renters versus housing providers. It is about right versus wrong. It is time to do the right thing and return to proper process. Thank you for your consideration.
The next speaker is Agudar Abudani. Anybody here with that name? Agudar Abudani. I tried my best to pronounce your name. I hope I did okay. So you signed up for item 13 and general public comment.
Yes, Madam President.
1 minute for each.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Good morning, Madam President. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Guram Abdelmajid. I'm speaking on item 13. I did property management for 15 years, and I was on the landlord's side all these years. But today, I'm here for the tenants and the homeless of LA. I'm here for the tenants and the homeless of LA because I realize that the landlord and landlord-tenants laws are not fair. For landlords, it is strictly business. But for the tenants and the homeless, it is a life at stake. Even before COVID, while working as property manager, I was forced to evict tenants for no fault, just because the landlord did not like the tenant, or they wanted more rent for the unit, or because the tenant complained to housing or health department. Unfortunately, once the landlord wants a tenant out, there is not much the tenant can do to stop it. There should be stricter tenant protection laws in place to avoid homelessness and to avoid major crises in the city. Because the harm to the tenants and the city without this protection outweighed the harm to the landlords. Therefore, this protection should be made permanent. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. One more thing, ladies and gentlemen, before you vote for this item, put your shoes in the shoes of the tenants. Imagine yourself are tenants and you're forced with eviction.
Sir, your time's expired. We have to get on to other people. Thank you.
The next speaker is Susan S. Susan, initial S. Anyone here with that name? You want to come on up? Susan, you signed up to speak on item 13 and general public comment. You have 1 minute for each. Please begin.
1 minute or 2 minutes?
You have 1 minute for each. So you've got a total of 2, but you can start with the item 13, then move into
All
the
right.
general public comment.
First, I want to say thank you to Councilman John Lee, Josh, his staff. You really saved our butts because the rest of you left us small mom and pop landlords with no resources, no help, nothing. I want to draw your attention to seniors. Seniors are a large part of the mom and pop landlords. We are the people that have worked since we were 18, saved our money, and got I have 3 in a lot in Highland Park. I am a great landlady. I was a renter till I was in my 50s. I know how hard it is. My rents are low. I welcome animals. But what you have done to seniors.
You have a minute.
Okay. What you've done to seniors is the worst thing possible to do to seniors. You've screwed with our income. You have made us go back into debt by not giving us our properties, by not letting us run our small businesses. We are in debt. We are having to sell our properties, and there are multiple offers and bidding wars. You know what that means? Money. So the landlords that are coming your way are not your affordable landlords, which I am. All of us are. I need my property back because I have a very bad health situation. I ended up in the hospital twice in 2021. Never mind. I want my property back. I don't want to have to wait another month.
Thank you, ma'am.
And
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Teresa Roman. Teresa, please lower your voice so people can hear me mention their names. Teresa Roman. Teresa? ¿Usted es Teresa? Ok, gracias. Teresa, ¿necesita traductora?
Sí.
Hable poquito despacio, baje el micrófono para que le podamos escuchar. Y tiene 1 minuto para hablar sobre el tema número 13 y comentario general. Comience, por favor.
Ok, mi nombre es Teresa Román, vengo del Distrito 1 y estoy aquí porque esas protecciones no pueden ser paradas todavía. Muchas personas en la calle todavía necesitan que los sigamos apoyando. Muchos de ustedes no han estado como nosotros hemos estado con la comunidad. Necesitamos esas protecciones porque muchas familias van a ser desalojadas. Esos carros y esas mansiones que esos dueños tienen es gracias a nosotros, gracias a las rentas que nosotros les pagamos tan altas y ya estamos cansados que esas rentas sigan subiendo sin tener ninguna protección. Ustedes están aquí.
Un momentito para que la puedan traducir.
Ok.
Yo sé que se pone emocional, pero la tenemos que traducir un momentito.
My name is Teresa Roman, and I'm here from District 1, and I'm here to ask you guys to please keep the protections because there are a lot of people that are going to be living on the streets, and you guys know, and all of the houses that they live in and all of the mansions that they have is because we pay the rents that are just so high.
Mientras nosotros trabajamos duro en la calle, ganando nuestro salario mínimo y pagando una renta de 3,000 y 4,000 euros, ellos se dan el lujo de andar viajando, de comprar carros, de comprar mansiones, mientras que nosotros estamos ahí trabajando duro para tener un lugar seguro para nuestros hijos. No queremos que nuestros hijos vayan a la calle, queremos que nuestros hijos se eduquen, que vayan a la universidad, que tengan sus derechos y que se respeten también. Y también nosotros necesitamos nuestro respeto. Están ahí para luchar contra estos desalojos.
And also, you need to be able to please help us. We earn minimum wage, and then we have to pay $3,000-4,000 in rent while the people are traveling, they're buying cars, they're buying mansions, and we want our children to behave, to be safe. We don't want them to go on the streets. We want their rights to be respected, and we'd like for them to go to university.
Cuando la comunidad los eligió, cada uno de ustedes los eligió porque tenían confianza y siguen teniendo esa confianza de que ustedes iban a hacer valer nuestros derechos. Ustedes están sentados ahí gracias a que muchos de nuestros amigos y nosotros mismos hemos votado por ustedes. Esperamos que estas protecciones no terminen, porque al terminar, terminan nuestras familias en las calles también.
Un momentito.
We picked you guys because you guys said that you guys were going to help us. We went out and campaigned for you guys and voted for you guys so that you guys can help us not finish these protections.
Nuestros hijos merecen vivir en hogares tranquilos y seguros, no en lugares donde nos pueden hacer daño. Si realmente ustedes quieren realmente a la comunidad, entonces apoyen a la comunidad. Yo actualmente pertenezco a la comunidad de Cypress Park y pregúntenle quién es Teresa en Cypress Park, personas que ayudan a mi comunidad. Por favor, esas protecciones no paren.
Un momentito.
We don't want our children to end up on the streets. We want to be able to live in peace with security. And also, if you go to Cypress Park, which is the community where I live at, and you ask for Teresa, they're going to tell you that I'm always helping people in the community.
Si hablamos de igualdad, tiene que ser igualdad para todos. Nosotros no estamos negándonos a pagar, sino que solamente se respeten nuestros derechos. Y lo que queremos es que no terminen esas protecciones.
Thank you.
Gracias.
¡Arriba! ¡Vamos con todo!
We are here talking about having equality, and we're not denying to pay for our rent, but we just want to have protections for all.
The next speaker is Alejandro Gutierrez. Alejandro. Alejandro, you're going to speak on item 13 and general public comment.
Mi nombre es Alejandro Gutiérrez, yo vivo en el Distrito 1 en Chinatown, he vivido ahí 26 años.
My name is Alejandro Gutierrez. I live in District Number 1 in Chinatown. I've been there for 26 years.
I'm going to continue in English, sorry. We need the permanent evictions moratoriums to avoid more people on the streets. The homelessness crisis is a big problem now. So don't make it worse. You all are sitting here, there in your seats, because the hardworking people voted for you, trusted that you would do good for the community. So it is time for you to show the community that you care of us. So you need to vote in favor of the tenants to keep the protections for, if it is possible, forever. You have to listen what people have to say, what people need. You have to listen what we need. for the Housing Department General Manager, Ann Sewell, I'm demanding you to do your job. The City Council instructed you about 4 months ago to do the appraisal of the building where I live, to buy it, take it away from this landlord, Tom Butts, and you have done nothing yet after 4 months. So I'm demanding the Housing Department to do the job now. We have been harassed for the last 4 or 5 years, so we need to take the building away from this as a landlord. Thank you.
The next speaker is Wayne Harris. Wayne Harris, are you here? Mr. Harris, you're going to speak on item 13 and general public comment. You have 1 minute for each.
Listen, this is the first meeting that I've attended. I'm a member of the coalition of the small rental property owners. I'm ashamed of these city council members other than John Lee. I'm ashamed. I've worked hard all my life to purchase my building, not to house people rent-free. If the government wants to implement something where people don't have to pay rent, we'll implement something where we get paid and made whole. Hell, it's not our fault because of the moratorium, because of the pandemic. We can get COVID like everybody else. We're human. Hell, we can end up being homeless just like everybody else. What makes you think we're different than the tenants? I mean, we can get sick. We can end up, I can't even sell my property. I got people in my property not paying rent. People don't want to buy my property with people not paying rent. What the hell am I supposed to do? You guys keep extending this thing. I don't know how do you sleep at night? I don't, other than John Lee, how in the hell do you guys sleep at night, really? I mean, we have no control over our property. We work hard to purchase our property. Our rents are low. My rents here are 3 times below the market. And I don't understand how the hell you guys can keep extending this thing. We didn't cause the pandemic. The government implemented this moratorium. If you're going to implement a moratorium, then implement something to pay us. Housing, after 30 months with no rent, housing is key paid me 16 months. That's not enough. Hell, everything's going up. Gas, you go to the gas station, you have to pay for gas. You go to the grocery store, you got to pay for groceries. What the hell you think people can live in your place and don't have to pay rent? It don't make sense. And the big picture is what the government is doing is putting the tenants against the landlord. That's what it's doing. That's the big picture. So corporate can take over.
Speaker.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Ana Carrion. Ana Carrion. Ana? Is Ana here? Ana, usted va a hablar sobre el tema número 13 y comentario general. Hable despacito para que la puedan traducir, por favor. Comience.
Muchas gracias. Buenos días a todos los miembros de la mesa. Estoy aquí, soy del distrito número 8, vivo en la Western King, en el sur centro, de una comunidad hispana y afroamericana. Estoy aquí en este día para apoyarnos todos como individuos, pero más por los inquilinos, porque es importante que extiendan las protecciones basado en la enfermedad que hemos padecido todos, no nada más cierto sector. Yo soy una madre con 5 hijos, fui afectada por el COVID, estuve 2 meses en coma, estoy aquí de vuelta, recuperándome. Esta enfermedad me puso en diálisis, ahorita estoy en diálisis y hay consecuencias en lo del COVID. Entonces, tienen que ver...
Un momentito para que la puedan traducir.
Hello, my name is Ana Carrion, and I'm here, and good morning to all of you. I'm here from District 8, and I live on Western and King in a predominantly Hispanic and African American community. I'm here today to support everybody as an individual, but more importantly, the tenants. And it's important that you guys extend the protections for eviction. I am a mother of 5 children. I was also affected by COVID. I was in a coma for 2 months, and I'm here recuperating myself from this disease.
Yo soy una persona que trabaja, que no he recibido cheques de el gobierno, que estoy manteniendo a mis hijos, estamos sobreviviendo sobre la pandemia y es necesario que nos hagan estas protecciones permanentes para las personas que estamos con esta enfermedad, porque hay secuelas. No es que se te quita la enfermedad y ya sigues adelante. No es así, tenemos secuelas y podemos volver a enfermarnos del COVID. Entonces, es importante que la ciudad apoye a que estas protecciones sean permanentes, porque no queremos tener más familias y ser otro número más de familias homeless. Entonces, es importante que ustedes pónganse a pensar en eso, en familias que están quedando de bajos ingresos, con niños en los carros, en la calle, estudiando. No es adecuado para los niños que estén estudiando en los carros y sin comida. Gracias.
I am a hardworking mother. I didn't receive any checks from the government. My children and I are surviving with all of these problems, and we still have effects from the COVID. And it's not fair for children to go and live in cars and do their homework in cars, so it's important for you guys to please continue the protections. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Shauna McKee. Shauna, are you here? You're speaking on item 13, and you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Good morning. My name is Shauna McKee. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Rattan and Tucker. My firm represents housing providers of all sizes within the city of Los Angeles, and we have been involved in the city's eviction ban from its inception almost 3 years ago. This temporary measure has turned into a 2.5-year nightmare for our clients, whose only crime was to provide housing for a community that needs more housing. While we understand that many of the speakers here want more tenant protections, this was a temporary measure based on the pandemic. This has negatively impacted housing providers throughout the city, and it has hit the smaller property owners the hardest. As you may know, the vast majority of rental units in the city are not apartment communities, but they're supplied by mom and pop landlords who hold very few units. They still have to pay their mortgages, utilities, property taxes, and other expenses to provide habitable dwelling units. It takes only one tenant to invoke protection under this ban before the landlord operates at a loss. They have had to deplete their savings and borrow from retirement just to provide housing. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Ana Cruz. Ana Cruz? Ana Cruz? ¿Necesita traductora?
Por favor.
Ok, por favor, comience.
Hola, mi nombre es Ana Cruz y vivo en el Distrito 4. He estado viviendo aquí por 11 años y estoy aquí con Colectivo Poder Comunitario y en solidaridad con la coalición de Keep LA House. Como inquilina, quiero instar a la ciudad que implemente fuertes protecciones permanentes para inquilinos antes de eliminar gradualmente las protecciones de emergencia para inquilinos por COVID-19. Con los precios del alquiler y la inflación por las nubes, muchos de nosotros luchamos por recuperar el alquiler perdido debido a una enfermedad o pérdida de trabajo. En medio del acoso de los propietarios y las condiciones de vida en los barrios marginales.
Un momentito, para que la puedan traducir.
Hello, my name is Ana Cruz, and I live in District Number 4 for 11 years. I'm here with Colectivo Poder Comunitario and the Coalition to Keep LA Housed, and I'm here to ask for protections before gradually removing the emergency protections. And I'm also here to talk about the people who have lost the ability to pay for their rent.
Las protecciones existentes para inquilinos son lo único que ha evitado que muchos de nosotros nos quedemos sin hogar.
The current protections right now that we have for the emergency are the only protections that we've had from being out on the street.
La pandemia ha afectado significativamente mi situación de vida porque he vivido con temor de ser desalojada por no tener para pagar mi renta por COVID-19.
My life has been altered since we had the COVID pandemic because I didn't know how I was going to be able to pay for it all with the disease that we had.
Y me da temor que este sentimiento lo viven miles de familias que, al igual que yo, tienen niños y vivimos una verdadera pesadilla, ya que como madre me preocupa no tener un lugar seguro para mis hijos en caso de ser desalojada por no tener para pagar mi renta.
And I'm living here with the fear of not being able to pay for my rent for my children, and this is a nightmare, and I'm sure a lot of people are feeling this way as well, the fear of not being able to have a secure and safe place for my children.
Además, esta pandemia nos ha arrebatado a seres queridos y nos dimos cuenta de lo vulnerables que somos.
Also, this pandemic has forced us to lose loving family members, and it has showed us how fragile everything is.
Por eso, si había una necesidad de protecciones para los inquilinos antes de la pandemia, ahora hay una necesidad aún mayor.
And if there was a need for protection prior to the pandemic, now we need it more.
Levantar las protecciones de emergencia sin contar con protecciones permanentes sólidas es imprudente e inhumano.
To lift the emergency protections without something solid as a foundation is inhumane, and it's not right.
Apoyen la implementación de una declaración de derechos de inquilinos. Gracias.
Please support the Declaration for Protection for Tenants. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Valeria de la Luz. Valeria. ¿Necesita traductora?
Sí, por favor.
Que por favor comience, nomás hable despacio para que le puedan traducir.
Hola, buenos días, gracias por el espacio. Mi nombre es Valeria de la Luz, me identifico como una persona transgénero. He sido y pasado situaciones muy difíciles por el acoso de la persona que me renta. Esto me ha puesto en situaciones muy difíciles como salud mental. Tengo un diagnóstico de estrés postraumático, porque no puedo controlarlo. Ahora mismo, uno de los dueños que acaba de pasar, al voltearnos hizo una seña, levantarnos el dedo. Este tipo de actitudes toma mi dueño con nosotros. Creo que no es momento de quitar las protecciones. Necesitamos protecciones permanentes para poder seguir adelante. Tenía mi propio negocio, puedo pagar mi renta.
Un momentito.
Hello, my name is Valeria de la Cruz. Good morning, and I'm here because I identify as a transgender person, and I have been harassed by the owner of the building, and I suffer from PTSD. Just right now, when we were walking by, one of the owners gave us a finger sign, and I believe that this is not the time for us to remove the emergency protections.
Creo que siempre he podido pagar mi renta, pero este momento me ha puesto en una situación Lo siento, solo puedo decirles que necesitamos, no es tiempo de terminar las protecciones, necesitamos protecciones permanentes. Muchas gracias.
I've always had my own business, and I've been able to pay for my rent, and this is not the time to remove the emergency protections, so we need protections. Thank you.
The next speaker is Robert Figueroa. Robert. You signed up to speak in general public comment.
Good morning, my name is Robert Figueroa, and I help House Los Angeles. I'm an essential worker, and I need support. I understood what was needed by rental operators and our important role in 2020. It is a totally different environment today. The moratorium and freeze were especially intended as a temporary measure in response to the onset of the pandemic. It is time to help housing providers and end these measures in their entirety. Although many residents partnered with us to receive assistance, we have residents who have not communicated with us for over 2 years, making no effort to compensate or work with us. Many residents are renting their units on Airbnb and not paying their rent. This moratorium is being abused. We have residents complaining to us about nuisance behavior and disturbances, and our hands have been tied by the city, and it is hard to be able to provide quiet enjoyment for the entire community. We operate homes for many people. Without the ability to collect rent from those abusing the moratorium, it is hurting everyone else in the community. Thank you.
The next speaker is Ana Rico. Ana. Ana, ¿necesita traducción?
Sí, gracias.
Ok, por favor comience, nomás hable despacio para que la puedan traducir.
Sí. Gracias, buenos días. Mi nombre es Ana Rico. Yo pertenezco al Distrito 1. Tengo 15 años viviendo aquí en la ciudad de Los Ángeles. Lo único que yo quiero hacer un poquito de conciencia para los dueños o para todos ser empáticos es de que la pandemia nos vino a causar en general a toda la humanidad daños de una manera o de otra. Yo en este lado me enfoco porque yo soy mamá, tengo 3 hijos y a mí lo que más me duele es el trauma psicológico de mis hijos en estar pensando en que por tan aumento de las rentas, porque en sí no son parejos los dueños, estén acosando a uno, estén amenazando a uno y yo me pregunto, aquí estamos en una ciudad donde defienden mucho.
One moment.
Hello, my name is Ana Rico, and good morning to all. I live in District Number 1 for 15 years in the city of Los Angeles. The only reason why I'm here today is because I want you guys to think about, I want the owners to think about this and all empathic beings to think about the pandemic and how it affected humanity in general. And I want to focus on the fact that I'm a mother of 3 children, and I want to focus on the psychological trauma that my children have to go through, not knowing how we're going to pay the rent. So I feel harassed.
Sí, y aquí es una ciudad donde supuestamente defienden la salud mental. A mí me preocupa mucho la salud mental de mis hijos y de todas las personas que tenemos hijos, porque no me imagino el día de mañana que llegue la notificación de una corte y diga el desalojo, el trauma que se van a llevar los niños. Como quiera uno como adulto, sigue luchando, sigue adelante. Nosotros no nos negamos a pagar renta. Simplemente estamos pidiendo que nos destiendan más las protecciones.
Un momentito.
So this is a city that focuses so much on mental health, and I'm worried about the mental health of my children and the people that have children, because anytime tomorrow we can get a notification from the court for eviction, and the trauma that that's going to cause the children. We're adults and we can continue to push on through.
Sí, y que nos den más tiempo para las protecciones, y yo pido de verdad que sean conscientes los dueños. Muchos de ellos dicen que a lo mejor dormimos bien. No dormimos bien porque somos padres de familia, que tenemos hijos, que velamos por ellos y que estamos aquí luchando día con día. Nos ponen trabas, nos dicen muchas cosas y más bien son ellos los que ellos duermen feliz, riéndose,
a costillas de nosotros. Entonces pido de favor que
Thank
de
you.
veras sean conscientes
Thank
y
you.
vean por la salud mental
Thank you.
de todos nosotros.
Thank you.
Gracias.
I also want you guys to take some time, and I want to ask the owners to take some time. They say that we're sleeping happily, but we're not, because we have to sit here and worry about our children and all of the obstacles that we have to go through day by day that are placed by them for us. And I just want to be happy and be able to take care of my kids.
The next speaker is Tria Schaff. Is Tria Schaff here? You signed up to speak on item 13 and general public comment. You have 1 minute for each.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Tria, and I live and work in District 14. The problem with the moratorium is not that there was one, it was that it was needed. The problem was and is the lack of oversight. No proof required, just say COVID and you're protected. At this point, everyone has had the opportunity to apply and be approved or denied for Housing is Key, as well as multiple other public assistance programs. Our company and many others have worked with residents who are impacted, and so many residents have and continue to work hard to bring their balance current, but too many are still taking advantage. How can people be suffering from COVID but are able to purchase multiple new luxury vehicles, have new TVs delivered, not work by choice, or work and keep their money as an interest-free loan? Residents are renting out their homes on Airbnb, taking the money and not paying rent. How long are you going to let this continue? Every other sector has returned to normal. It's time for us to return to normal. We want to be able to provide the best possible service to our residents and the city, but we cannot do that with millions of dollars outstanding. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Orma Mendez. Orma Mendez. Orma Mendez. Orma, no one here for that name?
Good afternoon.
Hello. Just bring the microphone down. You signed up to speak on item 13.
My name is Irma Mendez. I am here to speak about what I'm going through, and it's not only me. It's a lot of us is going through problem with the landlord. If the landlord would cooperate with us and do the right, we will have no complaint to come up here. But so be the case. Where I am living, the landlord let the bush grow up in the front of the house. Everybody wondering what kind of living you are living. And I say, I don't know. The landlord come 5 o'clock in the morning, take scissors or something, cut the cable, go at the back, cut the line. Do you think this is right for a human being? This is totally wrong.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We should not, because you are a landlord.
Thank you, Speaker. Your time is up. Thank you. Speaker, your time is up, but thank you. Thank you. Okay, members, we're at 45 minutes, but I'm going to go ahead and add another 15 minutes of public comments, so we're going to keep going for a little while. Angel Diaz? Angel? Is Angel Diaz here? Angel's not here. I'm going to move on to the next speaker. Annie Shaw? Annie, you signed up for item 13 and general public comment. You have 1 minute for each.
There are 2 million renters in Los Angeles. 300,000 of them live in places like Malibu or even out of state. The ERAP protection, that the money that you guys all gave, I want to remind you that it did not go to the tenants. It went to the landlords. When everyone was making no money, the landlords got bailed out. People are still working minimum wage if they make minimum wage. People have not recovered. Our landlord at Hillside Villa, as you all know, has increased rent 300%. If you don't find an actual protection that is permanent, that protect people from eviction in a real way, it is an open field day for landlords to increase their rent non-stop. That is their talking point. That is what they say on the news. They're crying because they haven't been increased people's rent and evict them for 2-3 years. You need to take this seriously. You need to empower LAHD and do their job so that 2,000 cases of harassment is actually getting examined. It is going to be a field day of eviction if you don't act. And we all know the amendment that you made is not enough. It is not enough. Make it permanent. February 28th, not enough. It needs to be permanent protection and real accountability on landlords that want to increase people's rent every single year for their profit, and they don't even live in the city of Los Angeles.
The next speaker is Timothy, initial R. If I can please ask speakers not to yell or scream into the microphone. Our translator is wearing headsets, and it makes it very difficult for her to translate. So, are you Timothy R?
Yes, ma'am.
You're signed up to speak on item 13 and general public comment. Go ahead.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My family bought our house in the midst of the pandemic. My wife and I and our 3 kids have been waiting to be able to move in our family into our house, which is currently occupied by 3 single guys in their 30s who have not claimed COVID hardship. This policy was originally enacted to keep roofs over the heads of families, but by locking us out of our house, this policy is preventing us from achieving exactly that. 3 years later, landlords are still being asked to go the extra mile for their tenants, even though the pandemic hit landlords too. Many of us lost work, same as the tenants. No one was unaffected. And after 3 years, my family still hasn't been able to move in. Meanwhile, each month we pay more on the mortgage than we make from rent. The rent is so far below market that our tenants are happy to stay as long as the city lets them. Why would they move? One thing that has been lost in this conversation so far is that Los Angeles already leads the nation in tenant protections. So even if the moratorium were lifted today, my family would be looking at a 60-day notice period and a large relocation fee for our tenants to make sure they can find their next home. We already have tenant protections. The longer this moratorium persists, the more financial burden impacts landlords. Perhaps deep-pocketed corporations can withstand this, but mom-and-pop landlords are plain and simple being driven out of property ownership. I fear that this moratorium has already led to a further consolidation of property ownership in the hands of corporations. The moratorium is hammering LA's middle class, putting many families in increasingly vulnerable financial situations, and the longer it extends, the wider its effects. December 31st, the date originally recommended by the Housing Department, was frankly much later than my family had been hoping for, and the City Council has already extended that by a month. Please don't do that to us again. We don't need to extend the emergency, we just need to return to normal. Thank you.
The next speaker is Nancy Martinez. Nancy, are you here? Nancy, ¿necesita traducción?
Sí.
Que va a hablar en el tema número 13. ¿Tiene un minuto? Por favor, comienza.
Buenos días. Yo estoy aquí para pedir su apoyo para que no estamos negando, que no nos negamos a pagar rentas. Queremos que nos ayuden a hacer unas leyes más fuertes
para mantenernos en nuestras casas. Muchos tenemos hijos, abuelos, mascotas. Muchos se quejan o dicen que hay mucho homeless en las calles. Si ustedes levantan las protecciones ya y no las hacen más fuertes, los dueños que estaban esperando el momento para desalojarnos, este es el pretexto que ahora tiene y es perfecto para ellos, porque muchos que han comprado lo único que están esperando es sacarnos para obtener más ganancias. No queremos dejar a ellos sabemos que los han impactado también el COVID.
One moment.
Hello, my name is Nancy Martinez, and I'm here to support that there are protections in place before we have the protections, the emergency protections lifted. A lot of us have children, we have grandparents, we have pets, and there are a lot of homeless on the streets right now, and we need the protection because the owners just want to evict us with the excuse for COVID, so that way they can go and raise the rent.
Lo que pedimos nada más es que nos mantengan un tiempo más. Algunos estamos poniéndonos al corriente porque también perdimos trabajos. Ustedes como dueños han dicho que no tienen una, sino tienen 2, 3, tienen dónde vivir en este momento, pero si ustedes no nos apoyan, los que no vamos a tener dónde vivir somos nosotros, porque ellos van a tener por lo menos una casa o un apartamento en el que estén ellos seguros, y nuestros hijos, nuestros padres que están mayores no lo van a tener.
One moment.
We are asking to please have protections for us because right now the owners have 1, 2, or 3 properties. They have a place to live. We don't right now, and we just want there to be protections. We have parents, we have children.
Algunos dueños nos acosan cada tercer día, nos amenazan, nos insultan, nos humillan. Hay algunos que han estado, nos han querido golpear, y esto no es justo. Y si ustedes levantan todo esto en este momento, va a ser el momento perfecto para ellos. Solo pedimos apoyo y protección para los que lo necesitamos en lo que nos recuperamos, porque no estamos negándonos a pagar. Solo necesitamos tiempo para ponernos al corriente.
Thank you.
Gracias.
We are not denying that we have to pay. We're just asking for time to be able to get ahead and be able to come up with what we lost. And we're asking because these owners are harassing us every third day. They humiliate us. Some of them want to hit us. So we want to ask you guys to please protect us before you lift the emergency protections.
The next speaker is Aaron Kowalski. Aaron Kowalski. Aaron? You signed up to speak on item 13 and general public comment.
Hi, my name is Aaron, and I help house Angelinos here in downtown LA. As essential workers, my team and I have been there at our properties each day for the past 2.5 years, assisting impacted residents and ensuring all our residents have a clean and safe place to call home. I'm here today to ask the council to please end the emergency housing measures because of the widespread abuse of the eviction moratorium. Zero oversight by the government has allowed residents to take lavish vacations and buy expensive luxury cars, all while not paying their rent or bothering to apply for rental assistance. It is unsustainable to expect property owners and landlords to continue bearing this burden. It has to stop, and it needs to stop today. Thank you.
The next speaker is Mateo Gil. Mateo, you signed up to speak on item 13.
That's right. Hello, City Council. My name is Mateo. I'm with Strategic Actions for a Just Economy, and a member of Keep LA Housed. I'm here to speak on item 13. We need permanent tenant protections as proposed by Keep LA Housed before emergency protections are phased out. We cannot allow people to lose their housing. Landlords claim that they now have to work like the rest of us. But the truth is, we aren't the same. Let's talk about generational wealth. Even in line, landlords were shoving and disrespecting tenants. Many of us tenants are just human beings who want a decent life. But this cannot happen without basic needs met. We cannot put profits over people. Greed has a way of bringing out the worst in people, but I want to ask you all here to look into your heart and help those who need it now more than ever. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Frank Nemiroff. Frank? You're speaking on item 13 and general public comment.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much. I am a very small-time property owner with one building in Venice. My late wife and I invested our life savings and took out an additional mortgage on our home to purchase a small apartment building in Venice. My family's business closed during the COVID pandemic, so my sole income is rental income. I am very sympathetic to those who are struggling to get through the initial shocks of the COVID shutdown. But we're now 2.5 years into this pandemic. I have a tenant who has not paid rent since February 2020. While most of the past due rent has been paid by rent relief programs, not everything has been covered. The tenant is presently 8 months in arrears with total past due rent more than $20,000 and rising each month. I am angry beyond words at being forced to continue to provide free housing. Even if you accept the ad hoc committee's recommendations, the past due rent by February will be more than $30,000 owed to me. The eviction moratorium has turned people like myself into providing free housing indefinitely for tenants who either can't pay or choose not to. This is grossly unfair, placing a tenant's financial burdens onto my shoulders. Not all of us landlords are evil or well-financed large corporations. During this moratorium, the city has enforced collection of all taxes, permits, and fees, yet we are unable to collect rental income. How is this fair or reasonable? Can we tell the gas stations and the grocery stores that people that need gas and food can take what they need and not have to pay for it? Or not raise their prices for 4 years? I don't want to evict anybody. What I do want is to be able to collect rents in a fair way from investing my hard-earned savings into a property. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Stephanie Sierra Rodas. Stephanie Sierra Rodas. Stephanie? Nobody here with that name? The next speaker is Sofia Mendoza. Sofia? ¿Necesita traductor?
Sí, por favor.
Ok, va a hablar en el tema número 13 y en comentario general, por favor, comience.
Hola, muy buenos días. Mi nombre es Sofía Mendoza, soy miembro de ACE y vivo en el Distrito 9.
Hello, good morning. My name is Sofia Mendoza. I'm a member of ACE and I live in District Number 9.
He vivido aquí por 20 años y vengo aquí porque mi dueño me está acosando, ¿sí? Durante 4 años he vivido el acoso por él.
I'm here. I lived there for 20 years and I'm here because the owner of the building has been harassing me for the last 4 years.
Y no nada más con eso, ahora tengo una demanda de desalojo. Yo he estado al corriente con mi renta, pero lo que quiere es más dinero. Ya no lo mira como un negocio, él lo mira ya al precio del mercado.
I'm here because I have a case against me for eviction and my rent is current, but he's looking at it as a business and he wants fair market rent for his unit.
Por eso le pido a ustedes, los concejales, que nos apoyen, ¿sí? Los inquilinos, porque si quitan las protecciones y no ponen otras, nosotros vamos a quedarnos en la calle.
That's why I'm here to ask the city council to please protect the tenants, because if you don't, we're going to be ending up on the street.
Y también les pido que regresen la causa justa universal.
I'm also asking you to please return universal just cause.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Kimberly Alvarado.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kimberly Alvarado, and I have lived in my place for 8 years. I've been harassed by the landlady continuously and every single day. She tells me that I have to get out, that I have to live on the street, even though I am paying my rent. That's why I'm urging you to keep the protections. The protections that we are requesting are not just because we want to be freeloaders. We are not. We want to live with dignity and decency, and we like to be in peace. It is unfair that we are treated worse than animals just because the landlords want more money for the places that we're living in. We are paying our rents, and we are requesting the protections to stay as they are. We had been suffering long enough, 3 years, continuously, and they're cutting my power off again every single day to have the opportunity to tell me that I have to leave. Thank you.
Thank you. Members, I'm going to take 5 more speakers and then we're going to start debate on this issue. Audrey Lopez King. You signed up to speak on item 13 and general public comment.
Yes.
Please begin.
Thank you, and thank you, Councilman Lee, for your help and your support for owners. My name is Audrey Lopez King, and I'm a member of the Coalition of Small Rental Property Owners. The local eviction moratorium and rent freeze are a knife wound to the heart of my business. My ability to maintain this investment was already crippled by existing outdated policies that increased my expenses, eroded my property rights, restricted my income, stood in the way of refinances, repairs, bill payments, and my ability to address breaches of contract. Rent is the lifeblood of my industry. Rent increases prior to COVID were 3 to 5% per year. Now they're not allowed at all. You've made it city policy to take my income and my capacity to protect my family's legacy while denying my right to enforce binding private contracts. Due to your practices, not only am I compelled to cover the rents of grown men, women, and their children, but I also have to pay their bills. I have paid tenant water bills in excess of $30,000 and counting. I'm a small business owner without the means of a large corporation. I'm not a city employee, nor has your agency assisted me with the care and maintenance of my estate, with legal fees, mortgage, water, trash, insurance, or property taxes. I am a person, and I and persons like me are unfairly burdened by short-sighted decisions that have forced many of us to shutter entirely. Your resolution has bound my hands to such a degree that the several large companies, American Tower being one of them, squat on my real estate with near impunity while I struggle to manage my investment, care for my family, and secure the monies needed to hold bullying thieves accountable. Why does the rent freeze continue when the economy is fully reopened and my operational costs skyrocket? The moratorium and freeze were intended as a temporary measure to address a pandemic President Biden describes as all but over. Their continuation is an example of the sorts of policies behind today's housing crisis. I and other landlords like me are in a business to help
Thank
and
you.
house people of LA.
Thank you.
It's our
Thank you,
business. If our
Speaker.
businesses
Thank-
are to survive, the moratorium must end.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. This will be the fourth speaker, and I will take 3 more. Ben Houghton. Ben? Ben Houghton? Is Ben here? He's back there. You are signed up to speak on item 13, general public comment. You have 1 minute for each. Go ahead.
Yes, my name is Benjamin Halfan. I own apartment building on Peak of La Cienega, and my rents are one of the lowest. I have 2 bedrooms, 2 bed, charging $1,400 a month. If any of you have any apartment for $1,400, 2 bedroom and 2 bed, I will move in. Yet, one of my tenants is not paying the rent because she claimed COVID. The reason she's not paying the rent, her son turned 18 years old, her husband stopped paying her rent, and she's asking me to help her. I'm paying the trash, I pay the water, I have expenses, yet she calls the department, housing department, that her screen needs to be repaired. And housing department calls me, they tell me if you do not fix her screen, she's gonna deduct from the rent. I said, fine, deduct from the rent, because she's not paying rent anyway. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Sylvia Marroquin. Sylvia. After Sylvia, I'm going to take 2 more speakers. Sylvia, ¿necesita traductora?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, thanks. So you signed up to speak on item 13 and general public comment.
Yes, my name is Sylvia Marroquin. I'm with SAGE, Strategic Actions for Just Economies. I have worked with SAGE for 5 years. So that was pre-COVID. We needed these protections for tenants. We have achieved a few. We need more, and we need them permanently because there's so much greed going on here. The American dream should not be on the backs of the tenants. That is not correct. And I'm just gonna play this for you guys because I think that there's enough homeless. I live in San Bernardino, and all the way through San Bernardino, every single day I can see so many homeless on the streets, so many homeless on the freeway. Now, I think this is not working. I hope that you guys...
No, please just tell us what it says. We don't take recordings of the council. So just please keep talking. We can't hear it. It's not time for a multimedia display. Just talk to us, please.
Speaker, this is your time to speak.
Speaker, we're going to cut your time unless you talk.
All right, thank you. The next speaker is Brenda Hernandez. Brenda? Is Brenda Hernandez here? Okay, I'm going to move on. No, you are here. Brenda, you signed up to speak on item 13 and general public comment.
Yes, thank you. My name is Brenda Hernandez. I'm from LA. I was raised in Southeast LA, Echo Park. I've been organizing with Hillside Tenant Villa Association for the last 5 years, alongside my mom, who couldn't be here today. So we're multi-generational organizers for housing in Los Angeles. And we started this association because we were illegally evicted from our home. We were locked out for 3 days. We had to sue the landlord and to be allowed back into our apartment. We weren't allowed to go in for those days. We couldn't get medication, we couldn't get medicine,
And that's when we realized we weren't the only ones being attacked here. It wasn't an individual situation. This was a whole apartment building. This was 125 families being attacked. Tom Botts is abusing the Los Angeles and Chinatown community. He's taking advantage of the money that is being given out to landlords. And that's why we are fighting against this. We're not gonna back down. We're not gonna roll over on our backs for the landlords to kick us when we're down. We need these tenant protections, and we need these laws to protect Los Angeles residents. For us, multi-generational families, to stay housed in LA. We cannot move out of LA. This is our home, and we need these protections today. Yes. And we need Ann Sewell to do her job. Do the assessment. We need Cedillo to continue to support the 125 families in Chinatown. Thank you.
The next speaker is Sergio Gutierrez. Sergio Gutierrez. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Sandra Obando. Sandra. Hola Sandra, ¿cómo estás? Tengo mucho que no la veo. Sandra, ¿va usted a hablar sobre el número 13 y el comentario general?
Sí. Mi nombre es Sandra Obando, yo vengo del Distrito 7 de San Fernando Garden, vengo de una vivienda pública, tengo 42 años viviendo y 40 de ser líder comunitaria.
Un momentito, Sandra, para que la puedan traducir.
Gracias, Nuri.
Hello, my name is Sandra Obando. I live in District Number 7 in San Fernando Public Housing. I've been living there for 42 years, and I've been a community representative for 40 of them.
Estoy aquí porque necesitamos que sigan con esta protección para los inquilinos, ya que varios hemos sido afectados. Yo en lo personal estoy siendo afectada porque estoy siendo desalojada y es injusto. La autoridad de la vivienda pública siempre me ha costado mi posición de haber sido líder por tanto año.
I'm here because we need protections, because I've been affected personally. I am now being evicted, and this is not fair because the Housing Public Authority has cost me the position in the community.
Como usted lo sabe, Nuri Martínez, presidenta del concilio, siempre estuvimos trabajando con los problemas de San Fernando Garden. He tenido, sí, muchos problemas. Esto se debe a que como he sido líder comunitaria, entonces ellos me han acosado por años. Es la política que ellos tienen cuando un líder lo apoya a la comunidad.
And as you know, Nuri Martinez, president of the City Council, we've been working with San Fernando Garden, and the problems that we've had are because they are harassing me and they're playing the same politics that they do with leaders in the community.
Usted sabe mi historia, que es muy larga. Yo lo único que le pido que por favor que apoyen y voten a favor de esta protección, porque ya tenemos mucha gente que está en las calles. Y usted sabe ahorita la economía está muy alta. Entonces si yo llego a quedar en la calle, voy a ser una indigente más. Gracias.
And as you know, Nuri, you know my story, you know that I have a long story, and I'm here to ask you guys to please vote for the protection to continue because, as you know, the economy is very high, and if I do get evicted, I will just be one more person out on the street.
Okay, the next and last speaker will be Charles Zhu. Charles Zhu. Is Charles here? Charles, can you come on up, please? Charles, you signed up to speak on item 13 and general public comment.
That's right. I'll actually be yielding my time to Dagoberto Martinez.
We can't do that. If you signed up to speak, you need to speak. If not, I'm going to move on to the next speaker.
Okay.
Thank
That's
you.
fine. News Council, my name is Charles Hsu. I am an organizer with ACE in District 10, and in particular with a focus on the campaign of the Chesapeake Apartments, where for months now, and years prior to ACE's involvement, the tenants have been, waging a battle against their billionaire slumlord, Mike Najjar, and his management company, PAMA, who's been putting them through absolutely horrendous harassment, including, as of late, a spate of invalid eviction threats and invalid eviction notices that they feel like they have license to do precisely because of these expiring protections. So I want to say, first of all, that although the amendments that have been made are pushing in the right direction, they're absolutely insufficient. Really, these protections should be made permanent, all of them made permanent. And so, yeah, I strongly urge council to pass all of the amendments strengthening it, and furthermore, moving forward to legislate in order to make all of these protections permanent, because these sob stories that we're hearing from the so-called mom and pop landlords, they are effacing what is the actual story here, which is millions of tenants at potential risk of eviction who have not been made whole over the course of this pandemic, because, as Annie pointed out earlier, all of the rental assistance has gone directly into the pockets of the landlords, who are not the ones who are going to be at risk of homelessness, even if they lose their investments. They always have the option to sell. They should sell to their tenants, who are the ones subsidizing their mortgages and subsidizing their passive income, right? So again, I urge council not just to pass these amendments, but to make these protections permanent and robust, and to implement the Tenant Bill of Rights. Thank you.
Thank you. So members, that would conclude public comment for today. Can we please? Can we please stop disrupting this meeting so we can get to our item, please? Members of the audience, I really want to get to this item so we can vote on it today. Thank you. So members, let's go ahead and vote on items 15 through 24. Why don't we go ahead and open the roll? Close the roll and tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
Okay, now let's move on to item 13. Members, we have item 13 before us now. Back in February, yes, Mr. De Leon.
Item number 13, just file item number 24. We can move it forthwith.
There's a request by Mr. De Leon to move item 24 forthwith without objection. That will be the order. And now we're moving on to Mr. Cedillo. Do you have anything on?
Clarifies Amendment 13G. We spoke about this earlier. I'd like to make a verbal amendment to strike B1 of 13G.
Second. Okay, when we get to it, I'm just going to have you repeat that one more time.
Okay.
And then we're going to vote on it. But we're going to vote on each of the amendments separately. Thank you very much. And members, now we have item 13 before us. Back in February, I introduced a motion to get a report back from the Housing Department on how to address the transition out of our temporary pandemic-era housing policies, including the eviction moratorium. And it took months for the department to be able to work on the report, and for my office and members of the ad hoc COVID committee to bring a compromise together that addresses the concerns of our residents across our city on both sides. And to get something before council that is balanced, strikes the goal to preserve the livelihood of our housing providers while still transitioning from temporary COVID-era protections to permanent tenant protections. And for months now, the department held conversations with community stakeholders, landlords, and tenants to make sure that we were all hearing from their experiences and making sure that that was all being documented. Because both tenants and the mom and pop landlords have felt the burden of the last 2 years. Angelenos have lost their jobs during the pandemic, and some of them are still having a really hard time getting back on their feet, as well as mom and pop landlords who have lost their jobs. Many of them have retired, but really rely on the property as their sole income. But no longer could they really rely on the rental income to keep their personal and rental homes. We cannot let this burden fall on either one of either side, whether it's be the tenants or the mom and pop landlords. This policy that was put into place 2 years ago was intended solely to keep people housed and keep them off the streets. Now it is time that we not only keep people off the streets, but we also protect people's housing and preserve their financial well-being. The amendments that were approved in the ad hoc COVID committee and that are before us here today are not about big corporations or special interests. Compromises are really important, and some people will say that compromises are really easy to criticize, but they're very difficult to be able to strike a balance and bring a compromise before you. But those are the same people that oftentimes do not put in the work, and oftentimes wouldn't even be able to bring a compromise here, put a compromise together to bring before council. So I think it's so much easier for some people to criticize and get on their tweet thread than bring a complex compromise to fruition, which is very difficult, and it takes a lot of work and a lot of working with different sides to be able to bring something like this forward today. I want to thank the COVID committee members for all your hard work, and I want to also thank you for approaching this in a balanced way to be able to bring something forward to council. These recommendations put into place are long-term permanent protections for tenants. Again, long-term permanent protection for tenants, while still preserving the livelihoods of our local mom and pop landlords. These recommendations ensure that once the eviction moratorium sunsets, we have a plan to protect families and Angelenos to stay safe and housed in their houses. Lastly, I want to thank the housing department. I know oftentimes you get criticized, but I can attest to the fact that especially Ana Ortega in particular has put in so many hours and so many months into developing this report. Ana, I see you and I hear you, and I sincerely appreciate all your hard work that you put into this. Again, members, I urge that we all vote on this item today. And with that, any members want to speak on this issue? Mr. Lee.
Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues, let me start by saying that I'm glad to see that this issue is before us today, that we are finally taking action on this policy. As I've said so many times before, over the course of this last year, the eviction moratorium was never intended to be a permanent solution. When this council adopted a declaration of local emergency back in 2020, we did so in response to the onset of the global pandemic, not knowing what lay before us. What we did know then was that an eviction moratorium would help keep people housed during a time of uncertainty and unknowns. Now, 2.5 years later, the most stringent COVID-19 restrictions have been lifted, people have returned to the workplace, vaccines are widely available, and we are learning to live in this new normal. The moratorium has served its purpose, and now it is time to move on. Specifically, I am pleased that there is finally an end date to this moratorium, which will give both tenants and landlords a clear roadmap for the future, and I plan to cast a yes vote in recognition of this. However, getting to this point today has been a challenge for many. I firmly believe that we as a body need to be mindful of the dire challenges that our small property owners in particular have faced over the last 2+ years and will continue to endure as we enter this next phase. During one of the most difficult periods that we will see in our lifetimes, the city asked mom and pop landlords to continue providing safe, affordable, and critical housing units to our residents. As we move forward, I hope we understand the sacrifices and the burden that we placed on their shoulders. With so much at stake, we must continue to seek common sense solutions that provide a balanced approach to this very complex issue. We must do better to recognize the real impacts that these decisions have had on the mom and pop owners throughout the city. They have been our valuable partners in helping us provide housing to our residents, affordable housing to our residents, and we must treat them as such. While I have concerns about some of the proposed amendments, I don't want to vote no on this when we have an end date that is being provided. So I urge an aye vote from this council and on my Amendment H that will allow property owners of RSO units to finally try to recoup some of the different expenses they have incurred over the last 2.5 years. So, colleagues, I plead with all of you that we move this forward today. So important to get small mom and pop landlords a date of certainty so they can move forward with their lives and continue to provide affordable housing here in the city of Los Angeles. Thank you, colleagues.
Mr. O'Farrell? Mr. O'Farrell? Mr. O'Farrell?
Did you say me?
Yes, Mr. O'Farrell.
Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues, we created the moratorium back in March of 2020, as you said, Madam President, to prevent thousands of families from eviction, bankruptcy, and worse, and we did that, the strongest renter protections of any city in the United States of America. I was a renter for most of my life. As a child, I faced eviction, housing insecurity. So my focus has always been to keep people housed, and during the pandemic, the basics, housed and fed. Now, 2.5 years later, with the pandemic winding down, in addition to the enormous burdens on renters, we also have before us the situation in which some mom and pop landlords find themselves. Let me be clear, I'm talking about the people who are true mom and pop landlords, and we've heard from many of them today. There are hardships all around for so many Angelenos because of their housing situations. We've heard from countless advocates, compelling real-life stories, and I think we can understand the hardship that still exists today for so many people. There are so many tenants who continue to be adversely affected by COVID, and this council continues to be on a mission to help these people, from the true mom and pops, if their tenant is financially impacted by COVID and cannot pay rent, then it stands to reason the mom and pop or owners are also going to be impacted invariably. I've spoken with some of them who are in bankruptcy. So if the tenant and their mom and pop landlord are both adversely affected, then we have a messy and complicated situation for everyone. I mentioned my history as a renter, and as we consider this transition, I feel very strongly about getting exactly right, which is why I introduced a very significant motion, item 17, that we already just voted on today unanimously, because I want to help renters within the 13th District to take advantage of a program that I stood up, and it's the Council District 13 Rental Aid Program. We're going to provide a fresh round of $3 million in rental aid in the 13th District that will directly assist people in my district. This program should be up and running before the end of this month, and to make it as convenient as possible, when the applications open, both tenants and mom and pop landlords are going to be able to apply, and I expect this program to help thousands of people in my district. That's what we've done. We reprioritized all of our discretionary funding at the beginning of the pandemic, and this is a continuation and an extension of that from my office. We're also going to do outreach and open my Echo Park District office to enable constituents to come in person and apply right there in my office. We'll provide help in Korean, Spanish, Armenian, and English language, and whatever language struggles anyone else has, we will help you. We've also posted a Q&A on our website. It answers questions for both renters and these mom and pop landlords. It'll be updated as we get more details. The website address is www.councildistrict13.lacity.gov/rental aid. If you go to my main website, it's in our resources tab. Again, for renters specifically in the 13th. So my message to constituents in my district is this: we want to help keep you in your homes. We will continue to be here for you, and more help is on the way very soon. Now back to item 13, which we're about to vote on. As the pandemic recedes and as COVID-19 moratorium sunsets, We must end it in a way that provides a soft landing for impacted renters. Renters who can pay rent and aren't impacted by COVID should continue paying their rent. For those who are still burdened by COVID and can't make payments, there should be communication with their landlord to use the extended moratorium protections. Moving forward, we need to be very thoughtful and careful about transitions regarding the moratorium. Although the county is ending the moratorium at the end of the year, December is a month with holidays and extra expenses. I believe strongly that impacted renters should be given a little extra time to get back on their feet, and we cannot end this at the end of December. I'm a lifelong animal welfare advocate also, and urged, and in this ordinance that we're about to vote on, we're extending protections for our four-legged friends and animal companions so that we don't add to the misery on the streets for stray animals. Many Angelenos sought companionship in the isolated days of early in the pandemic, and adoption rates at our city's shelters were impressive. I can tell you, animals have always been members of my family. I would not part with my little dog for the world. This is true for millions of people. A reversal of this protection could result in a flood of relinquishments to our city shelters. We do not want to see that are currently at capacity. So following a dry summer and rising inflation resulting in unintended overpopulation at our shelters and significant budgetary impacts as the result of this possibility, we need to deal with that issue. Renters who have adopted pets during the emergency order who are in full compliance with all LA animal services ordinances and regulations regarding animals should be able to retain and will be able to retain rather than relinquish their companions. Nothing we do is easy, colleagues. There are no easy answers ever, but we have to figure this out, and I think we are in moving this forward with the various amendments that we're considering as well. Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, colleagues. Thank you,
Ms.
everyone.
Rahman, followed by Ms. Rodriguez.
I want to thank everyone for this discussion today, and also thank everyone who came in to offer public comment as we consider this important issue. I just wanted to take stock of a couple of things when it comes to today's discussion. First, COVID-related tenant protections appear to have succeeded at what they were intended to do. During the pandemic, a time when many Angelenos were struggling to make ends meet, the city of LA actually saw a small, but it was there, a decrease in unsheltered homelessness for the first time in years. I don't believe that this is a coincidence. The protections that the city put in place to keep renters in their homes during this time of great turbulence and uncertainty did just that. It kept people in their homes, people who might have otherwise ended up on the streets. And because landlords and tenants are so important to this city and to the state, through an unprecedented spending program spearheaded by the city, nearly $2 billion was put into LA City rent payments that were missed because of COVID. All of this helped in bringing us to this moment that we're here today. The second thing is that the success of the pandemic-related tenant protections also have lessons for us for how we shape the landscape for renters in our city going forward. As a society, we recognize during this time that if people got sick through no fault of their own and couldn't pay their rent, we should be there to support them. And I don't think this is a principle that needs to go away just because there are less COVID cases happening right now. We recognize that evictions are very significant, potentially devastating disruptions in people's lives, and that tenants deserve protections that match the seriousness that an eviction represents. That's why I'm really excited about so many of the ongoing protections that we are now talking about implementing as we lift this moratorium. In particular, universal just cause protections are going to be a very important tool to limit and to slow gentrification, displacement, and homelessness in our communities. And I want to thank so many of the people who helped us get here. Thank you to the Housing Department for putting together an excellent report. I want to thank Council President Martinez for putting forward a set of amendments in committee that made important improvements to the report recommendations. And I want to thank Councilmember De Leon in particular for his advocacy on this issue, which resulted in additional improvements to the report as well. And finally, I want to thank the Keep LA House Coalition, who have put in endless hours fighting for more robust protections, for tenants here, for educating us, for sharing your stories, and for allowing us to create recommendations that represent the breadth of the challenges that tenants face in this city. There are only two places where I think we can still improve on the committee report that's before us today. The first is to push back the date to February 28th instead of January 31st, and I just want to talk about why. That's Amendment 13D that we're going to be voting on today, I believe. This is because we're asking the Housing Department to put in place a plan to enforce just cause protections, to report back on ongoing eviction protections for non-payment of rent, to report back on options for relocation assistance for tenants subject to large rent increases, to establish an eviction filing system, to report back on a comprehensive outreach campaign to tenants and landlords, to set in motion the process to conduct economic studies on the annual allowable RSO increase, and to do other report backs, including another one that's been added to the plate today, all over the holidays and before January 31st. If we are serious about having new protections meaningfully in place before the moratorium lifts, it feels to me like we need a little bit more time. This will also allow the department an extra month to conduct the extensive outreach that we all know will be needed to let tenants and landlords know exactly what to expect going forward and to reach the most vulnerable and hardest to reach tenants. Right now, LAHD is set to report back with an outreach plan in 30 days. And after they develop the plan, it will already be November. And then they'll have to conduct all the outreach over Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. That seems like a pretty tough timeline to me. I just wanted to talk briefly about the second amendment, which is to align the proposed notice of the COVID-related financial hardship requirements with the one that's currently in place in the county of LA. I feel like a lot of people don't even know where they live, whether it's in the county or the city. The county clearly states that while tenants are encouraged to tell their landlords that they can't pay their rent due to COVID-19, they're not required to. And the county also provides an exception for extenuating circumstances if a tenant is in the hospital, for example. These are also things that I believe the city should also do. The most vulnerable tenants are the ones who won't know that telling their landlord in person or over the phone that they can't pay because of COVID won't be enough to satisfy the current requirement. And if someone gets seriously ill, that doesn't feel like a moment to get them evicted. Our work is far from over on this issue because we must see all of these new protections through. But I must say that I am encouraged by the direction we're heading, and I look forward to doing the work with all of you, both on this council and all of you in the audience today to get us to a better city. Thank you all.
Ms. Rodriguez? Ms. Rodriguez, followed by Mr. Blumenfield.
Thank you, Madam President, and I want to start by thanking all the members of the public that came out to participate and contribute to the conversation that we've not only are having today, but in advance of this very important vote that we're about to take today. We recognize that we had to make some very difficult decisions on the early onset of COVID-19. And those decisions had very direct implications and impacts to people on either side. And it's not fair to vilify any one side. There are victims on both sides, and we have to recognize that. Vilifying one side or the other doesn't actually get us anywhere productive. And so we have to recognize that we have a responsibility to attend to the needs of everybody in this city. Early in the pandemic, when we were first taking positions on the initial eviction moratorium, this is unbeknownst to us how long we would be in this pandemic. I paused and urged that we approach this very carefully because having seen the economic downturn of 2008, I saw what happened when you accelerated foreclosures and banks then took possession of properties. We saw mass evictions of tenants because banks are not in the business of being landlords. And so I took that pause and urged this council at that moment in time to reconsider blanket moratoriums because of the potential impacts. This is before we had even instituted any rent forgiveness or rent recovery for these landlords that were going to be impacted. But here we are 2.5 years later, and what we need to do is assure that we have a responsible transition back that affords everybody the opportunity to recover and move forward while still providing the protections that are necessary for tenants. And so I look forward for us to not only adopting these policies today, and I want to thank many of my colleagues who have been instrumental in providing their feedback and helping to inform the amendments and the decisions that are before us today. But what is important is to make sure that we will also hold to account our housing department to making sure that they're investigating all the causes for concern for the protection of the tenants, but also more importantly, that we're putting private homeowners back in the position of recovery, because they have been, in some cases, denied too long. And my greater fear is that what stands before us potentially with any continuum of an eviction moratorium potentially puts at dire risk not only a wealth transfer to the private equity firms that are waiting to gobble up these properties in the wings because of a mass foreclosure crisis, but more importantly, what I worry about is the mass evictions that could ensue if we continue to delay this conversation any longer. And so with that, Madam President and colleagues, I want to thank everyone for their contributions to this very difficult conversation. But I believe it's a compromise that will help assure that our city can move forward responsibly, protecting the individuals that will continue to need protections, because as a city, we are in the business of protecting and helping to house everybody, and we are doing our due diligence to help assure that. But more importantly, we cannot, at risk of making poor policy decisions, potentially cause greater evictions because we're not putting an end in sight for those private property owners. And so I want to thank you, colleagues. I know this is a difficult conversation on all sides, but I believe it's a responsible one, and it's a responsible compromise. And I look forward to helping us all move forward, moving forward from COVID in a healthy, responsible way. Thank you.
Mr. Blumenfield, followed by Mr. Cedillo.
Great, thank you very much. I want to build on what Ms. Rodriguez was saying, and I first thank everyone who's been part of this, and I appreciate that you pointed out that neither side is a villain here. There's one villain, and that villain is COVID-19. COVID-19 has robbed all of us of so many things, and it has damaged the housing providers, and it has damaged the tenants, and has damaged all of us, and we all need to realize that we're in this fight against COVID. I was very proud to support the strongest eviction moratorium, I think, in the country, that we put in place to protect tenants at a very dark and difficult time. But if we have an indefinite moratorium, that is legally a takings. We cannot have an indefinite moratorium. So the question is, when does it end? How do we end it? It's never going to be easy. There's no great date to end it. We have extended ours more than almost every other city in the nation. We are a very pro-tenant city, but even Los Angeles has to recognize that there is a time when that moratorium needs to end. I have talked about it. It was put in place as a Band-Aid. And I've talked about this before. It is a Band-Aid, though, that as COVID has receded, as time has marched forward, the stick of that Band-Aid is no longer there. So we need to figure out, and this measure helps us figure out, how do we protect the tenants? And I hear the tenants who have spoken here and who have spoken many times about the pain that they're going through, and that pain is real. And that's why, but interestingly, no one really who was coming forward was talking about COVID. They're talking about the housing inequities and the fundamentals that are there. And those are real, and we need to deal with those. It's no longer the COVID question, it's the bigger question of housing equity. And this measure before us is a good package, and I thank Madam President and all of the members who helped put that together to extend just cause, because there are things that we can do to make it better for tenants. But the moratorium has been devastating for so many people. A gentleman approached me in the park the other day at one of our concerts, and he told me this horrible story about he and his family, when COVID hit, they had a small condo right in the area, right near Warner Center Park. They went to be with their elderly parents during COVID to take care of them. They wanted to move with their kids for 6 months to deal with that. They went to do that, and then they wanted to come back when school was going to start up again. But they couldn't because there were tenants in their condo. And they couldn't get those tenants. Those tenants were no longer paying rent. So this man is crying to me. He cannot get his house back with all of his stuff in it and move his kids back, and he can't afford to be anywhere. and is in this very difficult situation. It's not a fair situation. There's so much that's not fair overall. But we are moving forward. I'm very glad that we're moving forward on both finally ending this moratorium, moving forward there, but also putting in new protections. Now, I strongly support the proposal to extend the protections. I do, however, worry about a few unintended consequences about those of applying these rules to the tenancies, and consequently I have a motion that's part of the amendments that asks for report backs on 2 discrete items before we vote on the final ordinance. First, there are some tenancies that both parties agree at the start are for a limited time. You think about out-of-town job assignments. We have so many actors in this town that want to go on a film shoot for 6 months and rent their primary residence. Well, you want them to be able to do that. That's part of the lifestyle in Los Angeles, and not be able to get their place back in a short term. I had this when my parents, when they moved after they had retired, the house opened up across the street from where I live. They wanted to move there. Timing wasn't quite right, but they sold their house, bought the new house, but they weren't able to move yet, lived temporarily where they were, and we rented the house for 9 months. Well, that wouldn't be possible unless we make some amendments for short-term, when it's mutually agreed upon, to have short-term possibilities for renters. So other things. People in this situation should not have to give 60 days notice or pay a relocation fee if they've agreed in advance for a shorter period of time. Second, we have a new city and state policies encouraging the construction of ADUs and duplexes to address our extreme housing shortage. We should explore giving flexibility for owners of 2 or 3 unit buildings. Otherwise, we might, as an unintended consequence, disincentivize the building of these ADUs and duplexes, which is something we are pushing for the sake of additional housing. There are many legitimate reasons why a tenancy in a small owner-occupied property just doesn't work out, but doesn't rise to the level of just cause that applies to a larger multifamily or non-owner-occupied building. When you're renting just a portion of your primary residence or that ADU in your backyard, there may need to be a different standard. So we're going to look into that. And also, so people, if they have that and then they want to sell it, they don't necessarily have to sell it with the ADU or with the room in the house occupied at that time. So I think those are minor tweaks that are reasonable that we can move forward with, and I urge your support of the underlying motion. I urge an aye vote.
The next speaker is Mr. Cedillo.
Madam President, thank you for your leadership on this matter. Let me repeat what I said the other day, that we are moving forward in a thoughtful and deliberate way, but that when we took this action in 2020, there was no roadmap. This was something that was extraordinary, an act of God. This was a time where no one knew what to do. There was no roadmap. The last pandemic, the last global pandemic, had been 100 years in the past. And so we didn't know what to do. Neither did the city, the state, the nation, nor the world. So the actions we took were thoughtful, they were considerate, and they were designed to protect the most vulnerable. And so it has had a burden, an adverse impact on small apartment owners, people who have invested their life savings, who create housing, who see that as their way for their retirement, people who have left the workforce, and it put an unfair burden on them. But it was a necessary burden because of the crisis that we were in. It was a triage of public policy. And so I commend you for that. And you did so in a way that was thoughtful because you didn't respond to the sloganeering that was so popular at the time, the calls for rent cancellation and the jeopardy it would have put every tenant in, the calls for commandeering the hotels and the jeopardy that it would have put all those who engaged in that activity. Instead, we proceeded with this rent moratorium because it was necessary. We proceeded with this rent freeze because it was necessary, and instead we moved to programs like Room Key and Home Key. So we've done all that we can. And now is the time for us to proceed with trepidation and with consideration And I want to note that during the time period of the pandemic, and I have here the ordinance that passed this floor on June 23rd, 2021, signed by the mayor June 28th, 2021, a series of renters' protections. And this should not be set aside as something that's casual, something that we did simply to respond to pressure, but that we don't consider seriously. There are here dozens of renters' protections, from harassment, from reducing housing services, from failing to perform and timely complete necessary repairs, from threatening a tenant, from attempting to coerce a tenant, attempting and misrepresenting to a tenant that they need to vacate, from threatening tenants, from inquiring about your immigration status. This goes on and on in terms of protections for tenants that exist today that this body grappled with, found a balance, found the appropriate compromise, working with attorneys, community groups, legal entities to protect tenants, and in doing so, to continue the burden that was placed upon the small building owners. I have heard from all parties. There have been abuses. There have been abuses from all sides. In many instances, I let karma take care of that, but that's not sufficient for you. There's abuses from tenants who don't pay, take that money, travel the world, and then post and brag. There are abuses from landlords exploiting this circumstance, going to people's homes and harassing them, moving people in their most vulnerable moments of illness, of loss of income and employment, and then exploiting those circumstances, serving false notice, serving notice that is not true, and they exploit those circumstances and harass tenants. I have heard all the stories, and now is the time for us to move forward, Madam President. Move forward in a way that we must. We have had all the thoughtfulness, consideration, debate, all the issues have been placed before us, but now is the time for us to move forward. I want to move that we, with the appropriate amendments, move this matter forward. I thank you.
Mr. De Leon?
Thank you very much, Madam President, as well as colleagues. Madam President, as we all know, the moratorium protections were designed and implemented during a time of unprecedented crisis, and I think that's been really emphasized by several of our colleagues who had an opportunity to articulate their perspectives. Without question, our economy, our livelihoods, our way of life was impacted unlike any point in history in our time. We have folks who have lived through World War II, Vietnam War, Korean War, 9/11, but the coronavirus was unlike anything we've ever faced before as a community, as a city, as a state, as a nation, as a world. I do want to commend you, Madam President, as well as all my colleagues who are present here today for the courageous step. Mr. Cedillo just mentioned a few moments ago that we're moved forward collectively to protect Angelenos, to protect our tenants in the city of LA who were on the verge of being evicted. And without it, tens of thousands of Angelenos would have faced immediate eviction and homelessness for circumstances well outside of their control. Knowing that the moratorium protections would have to eventually end, I signed on to a motion with many of you back in February of this year, 2022, instructing LA Housing Department to provide a detailed plan to close out the local state of emergency and eviction moratorium protections thoughtfully. I want to underscore and emphasize, italicize, highlight, and bold that word, thoughtfully. This past August 25th, the LA Housing Department gave us a report which I felt offered piecemeal recommendations for the prevention of displacement and homelessness. Quite frankly, I was stunned by the lack of detail and foresight in the report. And just like Project Room Key, we've known this moment was coming for literally years, and our agencies tasked with these responsibilities, quite frankly, seemed unprepared. Now, I know there are folks here who truly believe in our departments, or some departments more than others who are protectionists of the institution itself, or institutions. I just try to look at it through an objective lens, what the possible outcomes may be through the actions that we collectively take. This is why I, along with some of my colleagues, specifically Councilmember Rahman, submitted letters and amendments laying out recommendations to get us closer to the finish line. And I know that several of our colleagues have submitted their amendments as well today. I want to thank you, Madam President, on ad hoc committee, as well as your staff, for considering those recommendations and, in fact, including them in the action that is before us today. I would like to take a quick moment just to highlight some of those recommendations that I and others have championed to improve on the department's report. Well, as mentioned here a few moments ago, expansion to the universal just cause for evictions, so all evictions in the cities are for specific causes and tenants receive relocation support. Data collection and tracking of all evictions so we know who is being evicted and can assist them immediately. That is real time, and that's an amendment that's before us today to get that information in real time. And the creation of a tenant's bill of rights to make sure every tenant and landlord across the board, for fairness, knows what is legal and what is not legal. I agree that both tenants and landlords are owed clarity, in which I don't believe they were given clarity on both sides. The timeline for repayment of the current and past due rent, especially given the potential for confusion between local laws and state laws. But I'm deeply concerned about the housing department's capacity to meet the volume of work ahead of them, and that the programs won't be in place before the proposed end of the moratorium, leaving tens of thousands of the most vulnerable Angelenos facing eviction. So the challenge is there before our housing department to really step up. Before the pandemic, an estimated 20,000 evictions a year were filed in the city of LA. 30,000, I should say, 30,000. During the pandemic, 47,000 people who filed for rent relief said they were being served eviction notices. So we know more people than normal already set to be evicted. 17,000 more households will be on the street looking for housing in an already highly competitive market. I want to put this in context because we're talking about our housekeepers, we're talking about our nannies, we're talking about the bus boys, we're talking about the folks who valet our cars. If our unhoused community right now have a voucher in hand, they're competing with other unhoused folks with vouchers. They're also competing with folks who are housed, who want to relocate in a very highly competitive market where the vacancy rate more plus or negative is 3 to 4% right now. That's a really tight market. Then we're going to have an exodus of more folks who are unhoused, who will become unhoused. Then they have to compete amongst themselves. So the question is, will we be prepared and have the safeguards? Because once we make a decision with our vote, we need to stick with it. Again, the families most at risk are the families whose members were frontline workers during the pandemic and suffered disproportionate personal losses. This year's homeless count results for Latinos, and there's a lot of Latinos and Latinas who came to that microphone here today, showed a terrifying increase of 26%. That may just be a hint of what may come if protections are not in place before the proposed January 31 deadline. In short, we need in the department to act with a sense of urgency because I'm concerned that the culture embedded is a CYA check-the-box culture as opposed to an outcomes-based culture. And there's a lot of that culture that's embedded within the DNA of City Hall. Check the box, cover our ass as we move forward.
We have to be outcomes-based, knowing exactly what we don't want to see happen in the future. That's why it's critical that you step up. And the numbers are clear, because women of color, immigrant women, Spanish-speaking women, women who look like my mother with children are the ones who are going to be most impacted. We are nearing the end of the eviction moratorium and have a series of thought-out amendments. And I thank you, Madam President, and collectively, this body, and this report that will work to make sure our efforts are not undone. But they can only work if we have those programs in place before the expiration date. I want to thank all my colleagues here, and I know there is a diversity of opinion on this issue here. And I agree 100%. This eviction moratorium cannot continue in perpetuity. It's not sustainable. There is no money to pay for it any longer. And folks are owed transparency and clarity, both landlords as well as the tenants. It is our duty and role and responsibility to make sure that we go out there and implement the safeguards so we can avoid una ola gigantesca de desalojos, de gente trabajadora, latina e inmigrante como ustedes hoy día. And that's why it is really, really critical, Madam President, that when we get the report backs, that we make sure that our city agencies that are tasked to do the work are in fact doing the work that's necessary. Now, through my experience in Sacramento, and I know that my short period of time here too, oftentimes we rely so heavily on the expertise of department heads and agencies only to find out they're not really up to the task. This is the time when folks really have to be at the task, because people's livelihoods are at stake. The people here standing here today, across the board, tenants and landlords, their livelihoods are across the stake. Let's make sure we can get it done, and I thank you very much, Madam President, for the opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, members, we're going to get to voting on this. The last thing I will say, there is nothing about checking the box when it comes to the amendments that we're voting on here today. A lot of people put in a lot of long hours, and there was a lot of going back and forth. There was genuine effort to try to get to a place where we were going to come up with something that was really going to work, particularly on tenant protections, and that was something that we were committed to from the very beginning. So I just needed to make sure that we said that a lot of the people who worked on this happened to be women, happened to be moms, and happened to be people who are committed to the work. So with that, members, I'm going to go ahead and take up each one of these amendments one by one, and we're going to vote on them individually before we vote on the entire item. So I'm going to start with Mr. De Leon. You had requested to bifurcate this item. Do you have a second for this motion? Who's your second? Ms. Rahman, are you a second on this? Mr. De Leon had made a verbal motion at the beginning of the meeting to bifurcate item number 13. So you're his second? Okay, members, we're going to vote on bifurcation.
So let me make sure we all understand what the motion is. My understanding is that you want to bifurcate or divide the question so recommendation 1 is bifurcated off from the other remaining 13 recommendations. Is that right? Okay, so the motion is to bifurcate so that recommendation 1 is separated from recommendations 2 through 14.
So members, one more time. This is a motion by Mr. De Leon to bifurcate. So let's go ahead and open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
5 ayes, 7 noes. The motion fails.
Okay, we're going to move on to the next motion. This is motion 13H, which was introduced by Mr. Lee and second by Mr. Buscaino. Let's go ahead and open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
5 ayes, 7 noes. This
Okay,
motion fails.
Let's move on to item 13G. And Mr. Cedillo, I'm going to ask you to again state on the record what portion of this amendment you would like to strike. This is Amendment 13G.
Yes, I want to thank the department for clarifying that we don't need section B1 or BI, B1. So strike that
So
part.
strike B1.
Yeah.
as stated in the amending motion.
Correct.
13G. This was introduced by Mr. Cedillo and seconded by Mr. Buscaino. Mr. Blumenfield.
On 13H, it went by faster. I was meant to be a no on that. If you can,
On 13H.
it doesn't change the
It
outcome.
doesn't change the outcome, but reflect Mr. Blumenfield's no vote on 13H, please. Ms. Hutt,
No vote didn't go either on.
you are also no on 13H.
Thank you.
Let the record reflect that there is 2 members who intended to vote no on motion 13H. It's Ms. Hutt and Mr. Blumenfield.
Madam President,
Mr.
if I could be
Koretz.
added to that list as well.
Okay,
Thank
folks.
you.
Madam President, may the council reconsider the amending motion
All right.
13H?
All right, let's reconsider the motion. Let's open for reconsideration. Open the roll. Close the roll and tabulate the vote. The item is now before us again. Members, everyone should have a copy of the amending motions with a number and a letter attached to it. So all we're doing is going through each motion one by one. So now we're back on 13H. So we're going to go back to 13H, and we're going to vote on this item now. Please open the roll. Close the row and tabulate the vote. Hold on for just a second. Armando, please open the row.
3 ayes, 9,
Let's do this one more time.
yes.
Armando, do not close the row until everybody has voted. So we're going to vote on 13H. Please open the row. Everybody voted? Close the row. Tabulate the vote.
2 ayes, 10 noes.
The motion fails.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to, now we're on to 13G, members. 13G was clarified by Mr. Cedillo to strike B1. We're now going to vote on this motion as amended by Mr. Cedillo. Let's go ahead and open the row. Close the row. Tabulate the vote.
9 ayes, 3 noes.
This motion is adopted.
Okay, let's move on to the next motion, which is 13F. This was introduced by Mr. De Leon, seconded by Ms. Rahman. Let's go ahead and open the row. Close the row. Tabulate the vote.
11 ayes, 1 no.
Can you repeat that again?
11 ayes, 1.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're going to do this again. All right, let's do 13. Let's do 13F one more time. This is a motion introduced by Mr. De Leon and second by Ms. Rahman. Let's open the roll. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
Thank you. Let's move on to motion 13E. This was introduced by Mr. Blumenfield and second by Mr. Lee. Let's go ahead and open the roll. Close the row. Tabulate the vote.
11 ayes, 1 no.
Okay, now let's move on to motion 13D. This motion was introduced by Ms. Rodman and second by Mr. De Leon. Let's go ahead and open the roll. Everybody voted? Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
4 ayes, 8 noes.
This motion fails.
Let's move on to motion 13C. This was introduced by Ms. Rahman and second by Mr. De Leon. Let's go ahead and open the roll. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
10 ayes, 2 noes.
Okay, those are all the amendments, or I should say motions that were introduced, amending motions that were introduced for item 13. Members, we now have the item before us. Let's go ahead and vote on item 13 as amended for the final vote on this item. Mr. City Attorney, the motion failed. Thank you. So we're going to go ahead and vote on item 13 as amended as a final vote on this item. Let's prepare to vote. Let's open the roll. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Clerk, what's before us now?
Madam President, the council has motions for posting and referral.
Those are posted and referred. Members, are there any announcements? Mr. De Leon.
Madam President, just want a quick announcement. We had a whole class here. We had 2 rows of students from my district, from Occidental College, in fact. They had to leave, but nonetheless, I wanted to welcome the students from Occidental College who are here today from Professor Freer's LA politics class. They came here to see how we advocate on the issues across the board, and I think they couldn't have chosen a more perfect day to come here and see civic leadership in action on the issue of the eviction moratorium. They just left just a few
I
moments
saw
ago.
them leave, and I was wondering who they were.
Thank you.
Can you please clear our council chambers as quietly as possible, please, so we can continue our meeting?
What did they say?
Thank you. Any other announcements, members? Seeing no other announcements, can we please rise for adjourning motions? Any adjourning motions to my right? Adjourning motions to my left? Seeing no adjourning motions today, our meeting is adjourned. Thank you.